Hi there, good morning. Barbie with you. I have many idols, who I adore and who I try to be like, who inspire me to get out of bed and to, always evolve. Obviously, anything related to Barbie is one of those, but I also have other ones. For example, the dude. The dude in The Big Lebowski is one of my major ones. So, and it's kind of cool. He's like Hugh Hefner that way, wearing pajamas all day. Like I say good morning, but it's actually, I think, 1 o'clock. What is this? What is this? Where's the camera? Oh, here it is. Okay. So, here I'm going to eat. This is something I like to eat for breakfast. Cheese. I'm going to unwrap it here. I've loved this since I was a kid. Nothing wrong with, being artificial. Oh my god. It's hard with one hand. Luckily things are super clean here, super clean. Mm. Mm. Oh my gosh. Delicious, delicious. Okay. I remember in the 80s when I was a kid, they had commercials for Kraft cheese with ballerinas, and that really made me love Kraft cheese even more. Like who doesn't want to be a ballerina? Anyhow, just some thoughts. I'm obsessed with beauty, have always been. Visual beauty brings me lots of joy. But really, in this day and age, who isn't obsessed with beauty? Maybe it's even just a human trait. Well, at least, I was going to say at least if you're an artist, but actually I think it's a human trait for everybody, because what does attraction, rely on if not beauty? But then suddenly I remembered what all the women say, all the straight women say, attraction is based on, what is it, humor, wit, intelligence, security, what? Anyway, okay, for me, attraction is based on beauty. Beauty, duh, okay. But beauty in itself, it's a complicated notion, subject, existence. Dang, I wanted to make this a 30-second video. Anyhow, all right, ladies and gentlemen. You surprise yourself every day. I like to do that, that's for sure. So, here we go. Since my current main obsession and idol is Pamela Anderson. Pamela Anderson, I love you, I love you, I love you at all times, all different ages, all different eras. Of course, the Baywatch era is, maybe my personal favorite, but I mean, no. Actually, it branches out. I love, the more she becomes a bad girl, the more she becomes trashy, whatever. I love that. I guess the only area I don't like is when she, more recently cut off her hair. I mean, that's great if she likes that and is empowered by that, that's wonderful. But I mean, the looks I'm trying to emulate, they definitely are more towards the classic Pam. Anyhow, so since I've been obsessing over her, I've been looking at a lot of fake breasts, a lot of, boob implants and whatnot, right? And, yeah, I know, I'm Barbie, so you just naturally think I live in Malibu, California, and I should be basically fed. I should have been breastfed with a fake boob, and then I should be seeing more fake boobs than real boobs, right? But I'm actually at a secret location that is basically, it's a Virgin Island that nobody knows about, and here I am, and it's fantastic, but there are not so many fake boobs. So I wasn't breastfed with a fake boob. I was breastfed with a real boob, and actually, one of the many blessings I've gotten from my mother were these fantastic boobs. They're amazing. They get perkier. They're gorgeous. They're symmetrical. I'm not going to show them today, but they are really a work of art. I'm going to be 36 pretty soon, and I mean, they are gorgeous. There's nothing holding them up. even I, you know, as a straight woman, when I see them sometimes, I'm like, holy shit. Like, you know, I hear an angel choir. It's very much like going into a museum or like an old, like, church with the, you know, paintings on the ceiling. You know, I'm a holy crap, you know. So I can only imagine what they do to somebody who actually is attracted to breasts. But anyhow, they're real. They're real. It's a blessing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm by no means perfect. You know, I have flaws, and so does everybody. So does our actual icons, the sex goddesses that form our ages and that have all the sexual power. They also have flaws. And what is a flaw? You know what I mean? We kind of, that's also very vague and changing, like the ideal of beauty itself. So, like I said, I was looking a lot of, I don't know, you know, I don't know the freaking different silicone, saline, saltwater. Apparently there's some gummy bear boobs. I guess they're supposed to be feeling more like realistic, you know. I haven't felt a fake boob yet. I really want to do that. That's on my bucket list. I have felt real ones, even those that aren't mine. But anyway, moving on. Okay, so you know, nobody's immune to all the BS in society, and definitely not I, a sensitive young girl and teen. I've had all the disorders and problems a lady can have. Luckily, I you know, toughed it out, and I chose, you know, the way of feminism rather than destroying myself and until I died, as one might. But you know. Anyway, confidence and all these things, becoming who you are. It's a rocky road, and it's a progress, and beauty is a work in progress. And actually, I think part of beauty is the imperfections. That's what makes the difference between the millions of beautiful young ladies basically look the same, and there's one who you just can't stop obsessing over, and that's something unique about them, and it's probably a so-called imperfection. But anyway, moving on. So I was thinking about cellulite. Oh my god, you know, taught since we were little girls, cellulites, you know, super ugly, terrible. In Swedish there's a word, what is it, orange skin, that your skin is like the orange peel. Good lord, it does not look like an orange peel, first of all, but anyhow, just, oh my god, the horror, the cellulite. And where does it come from? How do you stop it? I don't know. Circulation, rub your legs. Good lord, like, no. And it doesn't have to do with your fat. It's usually associated with being fat, but actually, you know, even the thinnest catwalk models, they have this cellulite. So it's all complicated. I think it's kind of like stretch marks. Another one there on the, I was going to say walk of shame, but that's a totally different thing. But anyway, the stretch mark cellulite, I think it has to do a lot with the body expanding or shrinking faster than it can actually keep up with, or whatever. Like with the skin, it's when the skin, it expands so much or shrinks so much that it can't really keep up with it, the elasticity. So you get these lines, these stretch marks. I believe that's the, and I think it's something similar with the cellulite. Something about if you're like, you know, or really quick, it will, the fat or whatever, the way it's being created, and it doesn't have to be a lot of fat, but it will get little indentations. I think that's correct. That could be wrong. I'm not a doctor. I know you feel confident around me. You want to take your clothes off. It's kind of like being at the doctor's. I am not a certified doctor, medical doctor, no. Anyhow, I think it has something to do with that. Who knows? It's probably hormonal, like most of, you know, female problems are. Yeah, and it has to do with fat tissue, but again, it doesn't mean you're fat. And young women can have it, old women can have it. You know, obviously, if you from you're born till you're dead, only eat healthy food and always exercise plenty, plus probably like rub yourself a lot, keep that blood flowing at all times, maybe you won't get cellulite. Or if you have like really, you know, great genes in that specific area, the non-cellulite gene, you know, again, you know. Uh-oh, I've set off my Barbie alarm. I was trying to get her to talk, and we're just having such a hassle. She wasn't talking. I mean myself, my own recording of my voice. Anyway. I don't know, like my mom would always say to me, I mean, of course she didn't mean any harm by this, but that my dad was always so impressed, like my mom, she was, you know, very, I mean, relatively healthy. I mean, she did smoke, but she, you know, exercised a lot, and she was very young, looking for her age. Again, another thing that's passed on to me, thank you. But when she was 38, like before she got pregnant with me, she had 0 cellulite. Like she was running every day and she had 0 cellulite. And my dad said, that's amazing. Like, you know, whatever, a woman who's 38 and has these perfectly smooth thighs, you know, sexy, sexy, hot, great, good for her, good for him. You know, that's fantastic. But I believe I've had cellulite ever since, you know, puberty. I have always been a bookworm. I hated sports. I hated, when I was little, I didn't even like being outside or moving around. I just wanted to read. And I started reading when I was 4. So many years enjoying books. It was my best. Okay, we're getting on memory lane here. But anyway, when you're sitting and reading books, I don't think the blood circulation is really moving a lot around in your thighs. It might be moving in your brain, but not in your thighs. So when you're a teenager and you hate sports and you read books and you're also, you know, not super skinny, you're gonna get cellulite. Oh my God. So what do we do then? For the rest of our lives, we walk in shame. We hide that. We would never dream of, I don't know, wearing a thong, you know, recording that and posting that in a public forum. What? Unless it was like, you know, Photoshop, or apparently there's makeup, body makeup you can do that hides tattoos, that hides flaws, cellulite, you know, whatever. I'm lazy. Remember, the dude is one of my icons. I'm not gonna put makeup on my body, okay? Except for maybe one of those spray tans. I'd love to try that. Somebody's spraying me when I'm naked. Anyway, moving on. Wonderful. So, as I was looking at all these fake boobs, believe me, I haven't forgotten the thread here. I haven't forgotten the thread. But nobody's here to tell me to hurry up. I love it. Get to the point. I can't hear you. All right. So, as I was looking at all these big fake boobs, we're talking, these are boobs that men lust for, that are imprinted in their minds since they're very young children until they die. An image they can bring forth when they need to feel lust or whatnot. And Jenna Jameson, Pamela Anderson, all the Playboy bunnies, anybody with the fake boobs. And I'm looking at these boobs, and they're squished together, the cleavage, they're on display. Obviously, if you pay that much money for something, you're going to want to show it off. You're not going to be all modest about it, like myself and many other big busted ladies by nature are. But I'm, the modesty. I'm getting rid of it as fast as I can. It's a progress. Anyhow, I'm looking at them. They're squished together, they're bending over, they're, doing different movements. That's one of the beautiful things with the breasts as an artist or just somebody very visual like me, is the way they move with your body, the way they change in your different positions. And that's a beauty that's lost on the silicone breasts. They have this weird just circle, and it doesn't change with any movement. So it's not as much fascination for me, but apparently most men, straight men, are stupid enough to not really tell the difference or care or, enjoy those nuances. Good for them. Being stupid makes you happy. Moving on. Right, so I'm looking at it, and there are these weird, obviously everybody knows, like, the circle that's completely, like, just, like, that's not news. But looking at them closer, they have these indentations that are super duper weird, and I wouldn't exactly call them beautiful, enticing, or sexy, right? Okay, so they have like just randomly, okay, the nipples are way off. The nipples are here, there, everywhere. Sometimes really large and stretched, but in a weird way. So it's like not sexy. Obviously, you know, some people like small nipples, some like big nipples. I'm sure a lot of people like stiff nipples, but these are nipples that actually, not only are they not symmetrical, and symmetry, you know, plays an important part in what's attractive, but they're also like oblong, stretched out, malformed, not really any shape, and just completely randomly on the boob. So if you're wearing a bikini or whatever else these ladies are wearing, which is usually not much, it's like, what the F? And that will pull and stretch the skin, so it looks really awkward and strange. Meanwhile, women with, you know, natural boobs are stressing that, oh my God, my nipples are too big, or oh my God, one boob is bigger than the other. I'm like, girl, have you looked at the sex symbols of our time? Have you looked at what's going on in their boob? It's like, I don't know, if I was a dude, maybe, you know, my heart on would go down because I get so effing confused at what's going on. But then again, that's, you know, imagining I'm a smart dude. Okay. Anyway, and I'm not shaming any ladies, especially not my idols, oh my God, with these silicone or whatever implants. I'm not shaming you. Really not. You've based your career, your fame on these boobs. Anna Nicole Smith, I love you to death. Sometimes you had boobs, you lost them, so you wanted to replace them after being drug addicts or mothers. The same, they both, you know, mess your boobs up. You know, all the power to you. I'm not, you know, I'm just discussing from a visual standpoint. And, all right, so it's strange. But what's even stranger is there's the long, large, like as thick as my thumb or so, and then longer, just imprints along the boobs at completely random spots, like, burp. When they're bending over, squeezed together, whatever. And I'm like, what? Okay, I get it. You have the perfect, you know, whatever, Barbie boobs. But then you have this weird indentation. And then I come to think about my cellulite, right? And some of them are like weird indentations, kind of oval or whatever. And I'm like, that effing indentation on your fake boob, Miss Perfect, you know, who gets paid who knows how many hundreds, I don't know, thousands, millions to be in Playboy and to be everybody's dream. Your indentation on your fake boob is like twice or 3 times the size of my biggest cellulite on my ass, right? And the ass is going to have big cellulites because I think the muscle in the ass is the biggest muscle in your body. So, you know, you got a lot of tissue of different kinds going on. And, yeah, at least on my body, I have a little bit on my thighs. And I definitely have, you know, on my derriere. And then it depends. So let's go ahead and take a look at the ass here. Ass, okay, also, you will be blinded by my white ass because I have not tanned it. And in general, I'm still working on my tan. So please forgive if you get blinded, you know. But this is my ass, okay. And looking at this ass, I must say I like it, you know. I like it. So fuck you if you like big booty or you know, you don't like white booty or whatever the effing problem is you have with your libido, right? Okay, so anyway, here I am, and it's gorgeous. And then, so cellulite, it's tricky because obviously with makeup filter and stuff, you can do things. Photoshop, I don't even know how to work that. And then it's how you pose. So if I'm like putting out my ass like that, look how smooth and lovely it is. Oh, but then like if I squish it, like, oh my God, like maybe I am penetrating somebody, then you get the most cellulite possible. Like, look at there's a big dent there. But that big dent of shame that I have right there, that dent is only about 1/4 of the size of the one on the most coveted boob in the world. And I don't even know what that dent on her boob is about. I know what the one on my ass is about. It's about me being a bookworm for decades. So, you know, whatever. I just don't feel ashamed, you know, push your limits. I'm pushing my limits, you know. I've started wearing heels. My legs look fantastic. I look like those pinup illustrations that I thought were unreal. And then I look at myself going, oh my God, my legs look like that. I just needed a heel. I'm 35. I'm learning this now. It's fantastic. And or you know, a décolletage. You know, all these men are ogling, if I'm pronouncing that right. And yes, that makes me super uncomfortable. I'm like a little teenager, and I'm like, you know, I definitely don't flirt back or anything, but this is fun. This is fun. This is one of my ways of evolving, learning new things, trying new things out. And obviously, I'm trying to become as sexy as possible while being lazy and basically doing nothing. And it's fun to play around. I don't want to always feel like I'm, you know, a teenager who just went through puberty and is all self-conscious. I don't want to be like that for life. Women are like that for life. And then when they're old and they, like really old, and they lose it, because not everybody can keep it forever, like me and Pamela Anderson. They lose it, some pretty soon, and then when they lose it, they're all like, oh, I used to be so hot, I used to be so skinny, look at that, look at my boobs, blah, blah, blah. But when they had it, they didn't own it, they didn't enjoy it, they didn't flaunt it. They can only in hindsight say, ooh, look how hot I was. And I'm like, that's a little late to get that validation, showing your grandchildren and whatnot. You know, thoughts from Barbie. So, kiss my ass and have a beautiful day.